Hey, good Friday morning, everybody. This is First Warn Storm Team Chief Meteorologist Brad Penovich, and we've got the potential, and I say potential, of winter weather this weekend. And we're primarily talking late weekend, Sunday into Monday. So let's get right to the details. We'll first talk about what's going on right now. Really cold this morning, had a hard freeze. Really, the fourth or fifth morning we've had a freeze in the last 7 days. Told you back in February when it was warm, a lot of people were saying, oh, it's not going to get cold again. Trust me, March has always got freezes in it. It's just the fact that February was so warm threw everybody off. Freezes in March aren't that atypical, and this is actually not that abnormal kind of weather. The problem was February was crazy warm. This is actually more typical. You see the snow in the Northeast, still lake effect snow, and even some snow up in West Virginia. The North Carolina mountains, you're finally beginning to get a little bit of a break, but that won't last long. If you look up to the northwest, there's a little piece of energy that's going to come down, and this is eventually going to start producing some snow later tonight into tomorrow. But the storm we're talking about for the weekend is actually just entering the Pacific Northwest. There's a piece of energy there and a piece of energy here that are going to come together. And I'll show you that in the water vapor loop. Kind of shows it a little bit better. You see the kind of mess that is going on in the Northeast. The nor'easter is offshore, but look at all the little spokes of energy kind of pinwheeling around. And that's important because the reason we've had such a weird pattern is there's blocking going on in the North Atlantic. There's a big area of high pressure. So as these storms have been moving in, they kind of push in and then they back up back into the U.S. And the Northeast has been pretty persistent in getting clobbered with these systems. But if you look in the Pacific Northwest, you see this little squiggle right here. This is the energy that I'm watching, plus some moisture coming in from the south that later tonight will start to form our system over the southern plains in areas around Texas. So let's talk about this. We'll look at the European model first, and you'll actually see this piece of energy coming through the Pacific Northwest. You see it there moving across the Rockies and then diving down to the southeast. And then look at the piece of energy coming together there, develops over the middle of the country, and then starts to push off to the east. And this will be our developing storm system as we go into Sunday morning into Sunday night. And then this is where things get interesting, really Sunday night into early Monday, where the potential of this storm winding up on the East Coast and possibly becoming a little bit of a winter weather event for us. So here's a closer view of that. It's going to start as snow in the mountains, possibly change to rain Saturday night into Sunday, but then that cold air is going to come into play. And you can see right about here, this is Monday morning at 7 a.m., which now will be 8 a.m. with the time change, don't forget. We'll see a bout of winter weather here across the northwest Piedmont, the foothills, back into the mountains. Some of the players in this to keep an eye on, and I'll pause this real quickly, is how much cold air is going to be available to the north to push down here. The track of the storm is still very key. Depending on the track, that'll be really key to how much snow we could actually end up getting, or if we get any snow at all. So let me show you some of the scenarios. We'll start with the European model first. This is the latest one. The new one will be coming in probably in about 4 hours or so. We'll get it in. Heavy snow in the mountains, but notice the 1 inch, maybe dusting to 2 inches in a few spots across the foothills in the Piedmont. That is far south as North Charlotte, Huntersville, Cornelius, parts of Gaston County, and that's the Euro model. Notice right there I've got the Euro model labeled there, and you can see that. Let's go to the GFS model. It's a little farther north with the snow, but still we've got snow out here across the Interstate 40 corridor, which I think is the highest potential to see some of that wintry weather. Next, we'll look at the NAM model, which has got a little bit of everything, a little bit of wintry mix out here. And again, this is going to be mixing with rain. It's not going to be strictly snow. So you got to look at this as kind of being a tough forecast no matter what happens. Even if it's snow, it's going to mix with rain, which will be tough to nail down totals. The RPM model, which is a model we run in-house, has the snow much further north, but still, notice parts of Caldwell County, Burke County, Alexander County, Iredell County, pretty much all the models show some type of snow east of the mountains, normally where we wouldn't see it, in parts of the foothills down across the Interstate 40 corridor. Not many show snow in Charlotte South, so if you're looking for snow in South Carolina, the chances are pretty minimal. So that all being taken together, here's the probability of seeing 1 inch of snow between now and Monday. And if you look at this, the highest probabilities obviously in the mountains were in the 60-70% chance of seeing 1 inch of snow. You get down across areas from Lenoir to Linville, back towards Hickory. This is the area where I think is most likely going to see snow. That's basically in the 40 to 50% or higher range. But then you look south of there, you can see south of Interstate 40 and between Interstate 85, which is right there, you could see there's about anywhere from as little as a 1% chance to as much as a 20 or 30% chance. So there's a chance. It's not zero, but this is a really good layout of where our chances of snow with this system are going to be. And this will be the trends we'll watch through the weekend. Does this line start to shift north? Do the trends increase across Charlotte? Certainly something I'll be keeping an eye on over the next 24 to 36 hours, but just beware, the potential is there. This would be Sunday night into Monday morning. So in particular, Monday morning is the concern if we're going to see snow, that we could have some issues maybe on the roads. We'll keep an eye on it throughout the weekend. Of course, I'll have you covered at NBC Charlotte and WCNC.com and right here on Facebook and Twitter throughout the weekend. Have a great Friday, everybody.